Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be discussing a very important topic. I'm not really sure how to start this other than I saw a video, this one right here to give credit, and I realized how little homophobia is talked about. And I decided, you know what, I want to talk about it. It's so normalized, and I think we need to stop normalizing being homophobic, just as we need to stop marginalizing every single group that is deemed different. Um, Everybody is normal, everyone is normal, and the fact that people don't get that is kind of crazy. Let's get right into it. First thing I want to talk about is gay representation in TV, and it's not so much the lack of it anymore because slowly it has been climbing up and has been getting there. But now people are saying it's too much and that they want the representation off their screens, and um that straight people don't have anything anymore. Which I'll pull up the clip.
Guys, no shade, no tea, but why do we have to have LGBTQ plus representation in all of the shows? Like, I'm telling you, every single new show that I've watched, they have to throw in a random gay couple. They have to throw in a random trans person. And I just don't understand it. I just don't get it. I understand there's gay people among us and there's trans people among us. Not everybody wants that in their shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know y'all are there, but y'all are trying to normalize it by putting it in our shows. And these are adult shows. I'm not talking about kid shows. Don't even get me started with the kid shows. That shit does not need to be in fucking kid shows. But adult shows too. Sometimes I do a good job of adding that in there, but sometimes it just feels forced and it kind of just ruins the vibe of the whole movie or the whole show. You know what I'm saying? Because they're forcing that shit in there. Like, you can tell with some movies and some shows, they did not originally have a gay couple or they did not originally have a trans person in there. They threw it in there. I don't know. I just noticed that recently that they just had to. I just noticed that with all these new series that I've been watching, they just randomly throw in gay people. And I just was just like,
It's crazy that like straight people have had their thing since the dawn of time, and yet now that gay people, the LGBTQ community is finally getting representation, although not being represented in honestly the correct way. I have seen very few shows that have shown the correct way that you should represent LGBTQ groups, which is just treating them as normal people who have interests and whatever interests they're interested in. Whoa, crazy concept. But to say that straight people aren't being represented anymore is actually insane, because honestly, a lot of gay representation isn't even in the main character. It is often pushed off to the side, um, shown as more of a side character thing. Never really representation. There's never really good representation of the main character actually fully being a part of the community. It's never in like mainstream media. It's always categorized off to the side as BL, GL, um, Yuri Yaoi. Um, it's never just there without being labeled as such. One show that comes to mind when I think of what could be marketed as too much representation is maybe Exo Kitty. I have watched the full thing, both season 1 and season 2, as soon as they came out, because I was such a big fan of To All the Boys series. But those were my movies back in the day, and now, like with Exo Kitty, I do think it's just forced. It's very forced, and that's the only show that I can really say like that it was forced. Um, Other shows, I like the representation is there to represent the group, Like, I don't know, it's weird that people are just like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see gay people on my TV. Watch a different movie, watch a different show. Oh, I can't go a single movie without, or a single show without seeing gay people. Maybe just learn to love everybody the way that they are. Maybe just learn that being gay is okay and people can have, you know, same sex interests. I think it's stupid to be like, oh, straight people, it's like straight people don't exist anymore. When straight people have been the main topic of conversation in literally almost every sort of media that you can consume. Dumb to say that there should be even less gay representation than there already is when there is already so little. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to, but you also need to learn like people are people and they can like whatever they like. And I think that saying that gay people gay people shouldn't be on my TV. I don't want any more gay people on my TV shows. Like you sound like an infant. And the next thing I want to talk about is the oh no, he's gay epidemic. Or the oh no, she likes women. I haven't seen that one as much as I've seen like no, he's gay. This has been seen a lot with Noah Schnapp, who plays Will Byers in Stranger Things recently. He got, he got his thing going in season 5. He got his little glow up. He doesn't have his bowl anymore. He finally like found himself. And now anytime like I'll see like an edit of Noah and I'll be like, "Ooh, like this eats like okay, good edit, like W edit. We love Will." And then the comments are just like, "Oh, I wish Noah was straight. Another loss for the woman. Oh, woman, how are we feeling about this loss? How about just respecting that he likes men?" Oh, guys, I think it's pretty freaking easy to just be like, okay, it's one thing to look at a man that you find attractive and be like, oh, like I want to pursue them, and then find out that they're gay and then be like, oh man, he's gay, and then move on with your life. That's a whole different thing than just being like, no, he's gay. What am I gonna do with my life now? Find a straight man? Find a bi man? Bi people exist too. What do you want? Like, what do you want from him? To suddenly just be like, you know what? Because all of these women find me attractive, suddenly I'm into women. Like, no. And I feel like there's definitely been, like, I know some kids, even people that I used to be friends with, that they would see, like, a girl who's into girls, and they would just be like, oh man, why she has to be lesbian? Like, she's looking bad as hell. And I'm talking like this because this is how they talk. They like to act tough. And so they'll be like, oh, she's bad as hell. Why does she have to be lesbian? Because she likes women. I don't know. It's something that they can't change, which is another thing. I didn't write this down, but like that's another thing. It's like the whole thing with people being like, oh, being gay is a choice. It is definitely not a choice. I really want somebody to answer this question. To I really want somebody to answer this question for me, because genuinely, who would choose to be in a marginalized group? Really, really, they're gonna sit here and tell me that gay people chose to be gay and chose to be hated by so many people? What? Another thing is people will always use religion as a guise to being homophobic. I know somebody who curses all the time, says the N word as a white person, says the most diabolical things that one could think of. Used to be people up, things you would definitely not find in the Bible. And all of a sudden, once it comes to being gay, it's like the world stops and suddenly the scripture is the most important thing to that person. And I'm not saying this to be like any sort of way towards any religion. It's just plain facts. You don't need to be homophobic if you are religious. In what world are you sitting here and being like, you're going to hell because you like men slash women, and as a man slash woman yourself, and now like the devil's got you, and now you're going to hell because God just, oh, he can't stand it. He can't stand it. He can't stand what? Love. Love. I'm going to tell you right now, my personal belief is that God and Jesus love, love, right? They just, they love everybody. They love everybody, right? And if you can love thy neighbor, aren't homosexuals your neighbors? I think it's that simple. I think you can't help it. When you like somebody, do you choose the person you like? Do you scout people and like you're like that one? I want that one. Sure, sometimes you do. But like when you actually like somebody and you want to like somebody else, or you thought you liked somebody else, but you actually like another person. I don't know, man. I think it's that simple. That when you like somebody that you can't help liking. Next topic is the idealization of being gay adjacent. Now, when I say this, I mean like you can see this a lot in the K-pop community. People will often ship idols or see them being really close with each other and just be like, "Oh, they're so cute. Like they should just like get together." Like, or they'll be like, "Oh, look at my little fruitcakes. Look at them. They're so cute. Look at these little gay people. Oh, so cute, so cute." Right? But then when it comes to people who are actually gay, they're just like, "Ew." Like you're saying like you actually like oh, okay. Is that not weird to you? Is that not weird to you? I think it's crazy that people will be here and they'll be like, oh, oh, look at them. Oh, look at them. They should just kiss already. But then those same people will turn around and see like actual LGBTQ people and just be like, that's disgusting, girl. And I'm not saying it's the entire K-pop community because honestly, a lot of people in the K-pop community are, I would say, not a majority, but I would say a good chunk of the K-pop community is LGBTQ themselves. If you can like it on your idols, you can like it on people too. Which does not lead me to my next point, but I have to go on to my next point. Homophobia in schools. It's definitely apparent how in schools many parents are like, I don't want my kids to be gay. Y'all shouldn't be teaching no things about being gay in my child's school. But I think it's very, very important to talk about being in the LGBTQ community in schools because a lot of students struggle with their identities, especially because this is a time of growing up, right? And so as you're growing up, you want to be able to be seen. You want to be able to like feel what you're feeling and be okay with what you're feeling. When you experience being a member of the LGBTQ community as you're growing up in school, you have absolutely no representation. In some way, I can understand why people would be like, oh, I don't think that's okay to teach in schools. I think what they think is like, oh, there's classes on teaching how to be gay. I don't want my child to be gay. But if your child is gay, then they're gay, and there's nothing you can do about it. But um, I think the problem lies that it's just never brought up ever. I think there should be at least something subtle, subtle that just shows that people of the LGBTQ plus community are welcome. Even subtle signs, a mini flag, a little sticker, like on your door, you know. And um, another thing with schools and homophobia is the kids in schools. Now, maybe it's just me, maybe it's the kids I go to school with, but I have a feeling it's not. um, they are very, very, very just weird when it comes to the LGBTQ plus community. I said that right. They like to act like being gay is something funny when kids are going around labeling things they don't understand or things they find kind of weird. When they label that as being gay, they label stuff that they don't like. When they label it gay, it can harm the actual gay people around them and make them feel like they're not wanted and not accepted. That is not because of the kids, that's because of the parents, and the parents that have shaped them that way. But this is why it's important. Like, the parents need to teach their kids, like, hey, every person is important, no matter the color of their skin, no matter what they like, no matter what they believe in. But that's clearly not something that parents are teaching their children. And it's also something that schools are not teaching children. And people are consistently bullied for just liking what they like. And it's really, really sad to see. People shouldn't be bullied for having a crush. Teach your kids. Just teach your kids that's okay to be gay. It's okay to be gay. Homophobia isn't cool, guys. But a lot of kids like to act like it is cool. And it's really weird. And it needs to stop. This doesn't tie into my last point, but it does tie into something I said earlier, in the fact that people like to act like bi people just aren't real, which is really weird, and it's something that is 100% not talked about enough. People like to act like being bi just isn't possible. For instance, my uncle, who is gay, mind you, asked about my childhood friend who is bi, okay? And he was like, "Oh, like, Maddie, I heard that your friend, like, that used to like girls, what was her name? She was your mom's friend's daughter." And I was like, "Oh, like her, yeah." I was like, "I heard that she got a boyfriend." And I was like, "Oh, like, yeah, she has a boyfriend." And he goes, "Oh, that's good to hear. Like, your mom told me that she used to like girls, but some people, they just want to explore, and once they find out like that's not really for them, then they just go back." Theo, you're gay. How are you saying this? It doesn't make sense to me when people a part of the LGBTQ community don't put any respect on the B in the LGBTQ. Like, it's just, if a woman, a bi woman, gets with a man, it's all of a sudden, oh, so you like men, so you're straight, so you're straight. No. They can still like women. They can still like women. Do they have to be with a woman to be bi? Or suddenly are they lesbian? Come on, guys. You can't undermine somebody else's identity. That is not what the LGBTQ community is here for. That also reminds me that lesbian people do not get a lot of representation either. Like, ever. I see less lesbian representation than I do gay representation. Also brings me to transphobia. Why are people so, like, mad that people are trans? I cannot understand for the life of me why people get so mad when people are trans. What did they do to you? Did you get rejected? Did you get rejected by a trans person? So you're so mad. Why? Just why? It doesn't make any sense to me. And again, with the religion thing, people are like, well, God made you this way. Why are you trying to be another? Because they don't feel comfortable. Is it that hard to understand? Oh my God, Britain and like making them go to their biological bathrooms or whatever. Do you know how dangerous that is for trans women? Going into a bathroom with men. Men. Many of which probably do not have good intentions. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Like, it's very, 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 very dangerous. Genuinely, I don't understand why you can't just be like, oh, you want to be a woman now? You want to be a man now? Okay. Okay, I'll call you she, her. I'll call you he, him. I also don't understand the people that are like, oh, I don't have pronouns. Do you know what pronouns are? Do you not go, like, what? You don't know what pronouns are. Is that what we're saying? They are a fundamental part of speech in the English language. Actually, in every language. They are a fundamental part of speech. You cannot speak Spanish without pronouns. You cannot speak French without pronouns. You cannot speak Italian without pronouns. You cannot speak any sort of language without pronouns. I am a pronoun. They is a pronoun. Um, it is a pronoun. So you're telling me if I point at this and I say, "Hey, can you um," or say I left this in my room and I'm like, "Hey, I left my box in the room. Can you go grab it for me?" It is a pronoun. You need that in the sentence that you are speaking. You is a pronoun. You is a pronoun. Just saying. Being homophobic is stupid, and if you don't want to be stupid, stop being homophobic. That concludes my video on why homophobia isn't cool. As we all knew, but like, thank you for watching my video. Subscribe to get. I'm thinking of like doing vlogs. So subscribe if you want to see vlogs. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to see more, and I can't wait to see you next time.